Hello, morning report, take 2. And was that first one a sad story? And I'm gonna give it another shot. It rained all night long last night, but thankfully it was a steady rain that was not too hard. When it rains really hard, it hits the ground hard and splatters mud up under the rain fly. So that did not happen last night, and everything covered with the rain fly was dry. The rain fly itself was wet. So I shook it out as much as I could, put it in the bottom, and then put everything else that was dry on top of it. And hopefully I'll only have to dry out the rain fly, but that has not been my experience in the past. I woke up at about 5, which is late for me, and was trying not to freak out about it. I usually wake up between 4 and 4:30, pack whatever I can into my pack that I'm not going to be using for breakfast or whatever. Then I eat breakfast in the dark, and then I finish packing everything up. But it's going to be okay. I'm going into town. I'm staying at St. Barnabas Rectory, and I believe a rectory is a parsonage, place where the pastor or priest stays, and it just so happens that the priest is a woman. So I will be staying with her. Bud said that she said it was okay for me to stay an extra night. I'm going to play it by ear, but I just don't see how I'm going to get everything done after hiking the full 15 miles before I head out the next morning. I've got 6 videos that I'll need to export and then upload. And try as I might, they are not short. I don't know why. I guess I've talked too much. The scenery has been much more beautiful in my opinion, so I've probably taken more shots of the beauty. It is coolish this morning, but not cool, and I think we have a chance of rain today and a high chance of rain tomorrow, so that would be a good reason to stay an extra day with this rectory. I do intend to give her a donation for letting me stay there. I'll just have to feel things out and see how it is. The hiker room, according to Bud, will fit up to 4 to 5 people, so I may not be alone there. And I will have to walk 1.5 miles into Hanover to pick up my box because this place is in Norwich. And I believe that Norwich is Vermont and Hanover is New Hampshire, but don't take that as law. I am just not sure. But I do know that I am very close to New Hampshire. I will have about 3.5 days or so to get into Glencliff, New Hampshire, which is right before the Whites. I will stay at the Hiker's Welcome Hostel. And I am pretty sure I'm going to see about slack packing. I think most people slack pack Mount Moosilauke, because if you remember, I told you it's basically a granite slab with wedges of wood. Probably no more than, say, about 3-4 inches wide. They're bolted into the granite. On my first hike, I went down it northbound, and it was scary. It was really scary. One false move, and I could have slipped and fell a long way. I am sure that trying to take video of it won't do it justice, but I'm going to try. So I think I've been hiking about 30 minutes and I am feeling better than I did when I made that first video. I've just been really tired and I don't know if this is normal. Everybody says they're tired, but they're not taking zeros. They plow up these hills like they're nothing, even though they say their legs are weak too. So I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what else I can do. But I'm not giving up yet. I'm still fully intending to finish. I want to finish. I do not want to quit because I know I will hate myself forever if I quit. And the most beautiful part of the trail is ahead of me. And I am enjoying the beauty of the trail right now very much. And I'm enjoying the fact that even though yesterday was pretty warm, it was not a heat wave, and I'm getting my winter gear back here in Hanover. I probably won't use it until I start going over the whites. There's some formula, Raid probably knows what it is, but for every 1,000 feet, I guess, in elevation you go up, the temperature is cooler so many degrees. So that is why we need our winter gear, and the weather is known for being quite volatile in the whites, especially Mount Washington. And I should know my facts, but I think, don't quote me on this, I think the highest winds ever recorded were recorded on Mount Washington. And hikers have died from hypothermia going over the whites. So I will have my winter gear. I will be prepared, and still thinking about staying in the huts just because it will alleviate so much pressure to know that I have a place to stay every night and that I'll have 2 good meals and I'm not going to have to work for it. Nobody wants to work at this point. We're barely making it. We're barely doing our work each day of hiking 8 hours because it's so tough and we're so worn out and broken down. So I think that is about it. Can't think of anything else you might be interested in. And by the way, if any of you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to do a Q&A. I could probably have Bud compile the questions, and then when I'm at a hostel, I could answer those questions. So be sure to do that. If there's anything that you want to know, I try to answer your questions as they come. And I'll be happy to answer anything you would like to know. So I will talk to you later. That's the blaze. This is the trail. This is terrible. These weeds are all wet. Just looking down there to see if there are any porcupines in there. These weeds are all wet and my shorts are getting saturated. My waist is getting saturated. These come up almost to my shoulder. Yuck! My shoes are saturated. Though I am not sure, I believe that these trees, and there are some beyond them, are being tapped for the maple sap to make syrup. I've seen this several different times in Vermont. and it's a tube, not a rope. Hello. I actually did about 12 to 13 in today. The rectory that I am staying at is actually in Norwich, Vermont, and Hanover is about 2 miles from here. I made it here about 1 maybe. I stopped by a store, got a Coke, some Fritos, my honey buns for the next section, and a couple of other snacks, and then I came on to the rectory. The lady here is very nice, and I've had a busy day, took a shower, did my laundry. She drove me the 1.8 miles to the post office to pick up my package. I just got my winter clothes back, and so my pack's going to be a little bit heavier. And tomorrow I'm going to start uploading videos and just rest. I am so tired. I was so grateful that the trail into this town from the last shelter I was at last night was relatively flat, not too many climbs, mostly puds, and my legs just feel like jello, and that's very worrisome. So I am hoping that with rest and some good food I will be better. The lady here cooked a turkey, and we had turkey and cooked vegetables from her CSA. I can't remember what that stands for, but they're local farms that put together boxes, and you sort of subscribe to a box of vegetables. We did that when we lived in Texas for a short while, and she also had some gazpacho soup. It was all very good, and I ate a lot. So I am ready to edit tonight's video, and then I'm gonna go on to bed. So for now, this is Rebound signing out.